Last week I asked you all about the character. Guess who that character is? That character is, drumroll, Grimjaw. Character is Grimjaw from Bleach. He's one of the, I believe it's an Espada, who was part of Aizen Squad and one of the coolest characters that was, in that arc when Aizen was running things in Bleach. So if you guess Grimjaw, then you got it right.
You are in a place where our worlds collide. It's unpredictable, you dealing with a colorful guy, but you will have fun. That's expected when you hear the name. I welcome you to Mel's animated domain.
Today's main topic of what we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about anime live action movies. Are they good? Are they bad? How do we feel about them? But before we get into that, Boruto. This latest Boruto chapter, it releases monthly, and this was chapter 7. And in this chapter, oh my gosh, it's so good. I feel like every episode in this manga is getting so good. Oh my God, it's getting so good. It's getting so good, man. And so Boruto, oh, you know what? I guess I should say spoilers, just in case people don't want to hear spoilers or anything like that. So spoilers. But in the series, it started off with Mitsuki facing Boruto. And the reason why they're facing one another is obviously everyone's under this mass hypnosis, or not even a hypnosis. They basically just had their memories altered where they're replacing Boruto for Kawaki. And everything is based on how Kawaki wants things to go because that girl that likes Kawaki, she's following him and carrying out his will and things of that nature. But Mitsuki, he's facing Boruto, but while he's doing that, he's kind of questioning his allegiance, or he's questioning the connection that he has with Kawaki, because he's on some Mitsuki's on this you're my son, you illuminate me, I need you to illuminate me. And he thinks that is Kawaki, but it genuinely just doesn't feel right, because Kawaki pushes him away and things like that. And he's like, yo, get away from me. He ain't trying to be cool with him like that. And it's obviously because he's altered his memories. When facing Boruto, he has the upper hand in the battle. He's crazy strong. I'm not sure what training he went through or what he had to endure to get to this particular level, but he is strong where he could have killed Mitsuki if he wanted to. He could have killed him even after he told him that, hey, you're as strong as Kawaki, but I'm even stronger, so you don't even stand a chance and things like that. And he also had the opportunity to kill him while they were fighting. Even while Mitsuki was in his charge form, where he uses his sage form or so. You also get to see Shikimaru listen in to the conversation that's happening between Mitsuki and Boruto, obviously thanks to Ino as well. They're able to eavesdrop and things like that. He reveals a lot in this chapter. He reveals a lot to both Mitsuki and Shikimaru. One of the main things that he revealed while speaking to Mitsuki is that Naruto is alive. Because he was asking Boruto, you're a traitor. Why did you kill the 7th? And then Boruto was like, the 7th is alive. He's well. And he was about to slip up. He was about to say my mom, but he was just like, his wife is doing well too. It made him question whether he was legit or not. And it even came to a point where Boruto said, you know what? I put my sword away. And then this was an opportunity for Mitsuki to attack him because he wrapped him up with his snakes. But he didn't do it. And he convinced him, like, I am the son that you're looking for. I am your son, and I illuminate you. And so he's conflicted based on the things that he believes versus what he feel is right. And so he's conflicted with that. And so, I believe just Boruto goes away, and then Shikimaru, he continues to speak to Shikimaru, letting him know, like, hey, man, Sarada and the class rep, the class lead or whatever, they already told you about this multiple times, and he's even figured it out multiple times. That's why it was like, you know what, I'm not even going to bother to tell you this because you're just going to forget. And it's crazy, man. It's crazy to see how strong Boruto has become. Now he's going to be living as a fugitive. And that's basically the bulk of what happened in the chapter. And now it ended with one of those, the Atsuki members, you know, who was reading. It ended with him stating that he's going to see what's up with Naruto. He's about to check in with Naruto. So, because he's reading the book and he's wanting to get knowledge and stuff like that. And man, that chapter was so good. Every chapter in Boruto is good. The anime, but Boruto, oh man, it's so good. It's getting so good. So it releases monthly. So if you haven't caught up with the series, I suggest you catch up. It's only 7 chapters deep. It's called Two Blue Vortex, which is a weird ass name, but that is the sequel. So make sure you check it out if you haven't, because this bad boy is good. We're going to be taking a look at Ace. Portugal, I think it's like Portugal D Ace or something like that. Now, this figure is so cool. This like shows Ace, you know, he has this cool laid back vibe, got his hat hanging on his back. You know, he got his little beads, got his little necklace, shirt off and all that stuff. Just looking super cool. Yeah, man, Ace is one of those pirates who, he was under Whitebeard, and he's also the brother of Sabo. He's also the brother of Luffy. And he's one of the pivotal characters that becomes beloved in the series. There is a pivotal moment in the series where you just be like, man, Ace is just so cool. And I appreciate this dude. But it's well designed. It just shows elements that represent, you know, who Ace is. Even just looking at his facial expression. Look at that face. Look at that face. How can you say no to that face of Ace? Look at that face of Ace. You like it. You see it. You like it. You see it. But yep. This is Ace, another character that I really enjoy. He's just another part of my mad collection. Let's jump to our main topic. The main topic of discussion is how do we feel about animes that are, you know, that has live action adaptations? Do we like them? Do we not like them? How do we feel about them? Because I feel like the community is torn on it, because if they do it right, cool. But when they do it bad, oh my gosh, they ruin it. They ruin it. And there's so many series that fall victim to being displayed horribly, especially when it comes to some of those animes that we hold dear to our heart. Just even think about the first adaptation that we got for like a big anime, which is Dragon Ball. You know, you grew up, we seen Dragon Ball Z, but then they come out with that movie Dragon Ball Evolution. And it's like, bro, what are we doing? What are we doing here? Like, why did y'all make this movie? Y'all absolutely destroyed it. And then you look at other movies like the Netflix Death Note film that was made in America, you know, that had L as like a black dude. And, you know, they just switch it up and change it. And that was not good at all. That Death Note movie was horrible. You know, a lot of people didn't like the first Avatar, like the last Airbender. A lot of people didn't like that one. Yu Yu Hakusho, it was hyped up, but it wasn't really well received like that. But then you also have One Piece, which did really well, you know, on top of the anime already being dope. I feel as if there are anime series that do well when it comes to being adapted into like a live action format. But for the majority part of it, I think most of them don't succeed because either they're cutting or skimming out on important moments that happen in the series. If it isn't identical to something that we actually grew up on, or the information that we receive is different in an anime versus the live action adaptation, you'll be conflicted. And so I would say it's actually more detriment. A lot of times I would be okay if they didn't do a live action. Like, honestly, I would be completely okay if they did not have actual humans displaying anime action. Because unless they have a good budget, they put a lot of money into it for like the graphics and things like that, it's going to rub the anime lovers the wrong way. It's inevitable. It's going to happen, and it's been consistent. There are a rare few gems, but it's been consistent. Now, I will say there's one anime adaptation that transformed into live action that I actually thought was pretty cool, which was the Cowboy Bebop, you know, series that came out on Netflix. I thought they did that one really good. Yeah, there were a few tweaks and was a little different, but I feel like they put a lot of effort into it. The characters, they were well put together, and the action, the budget, you can see that they actually invested some money into it. And me being a longtime Cowboy Bebop fan, I appreciated that. I appreciated that Cowboy Bebop live action adaptation, and I wish they honestly had another season like the One Piece. I think they did that one really well, and I would like for them to have another season. But there are a lot of series out there that makes us feel like, you know what, I would be okay if they didn't make anime live action adaptations unless they did it well. They can invest money into Marvel and Disney and all these other films that are made here in America. But when it comes from films that are originating overseas, a lot of times, if it's being created in America, they're hesitant to put big budgets behind it because they don't think they'll get that ROI, that return on that investment. But I guarantee Dragon Ball Z or like a Pokemon or one of those loving animes that is synonymous with growing up in America, some of those old school ones, if they actually put like a good budget and invest into it, it will take off. Now, what I will say is that a lot of the animes that are created overseas, they actually do good, because Death Note, like original Death Note that was created in, I believe it was 2006, these were done well, and it's in Japanese language and things of that nature, but it follows the anime really well. It follows it really well, and I think we need more of that. We need more of that type of film. But just, do you think that they should fall back on these anime adaptations, or should they get someone who can truly do it justice? Because a lot of the times, I don't think they'll ever do an anime justice, just simply because they take out a lot of the core elements that make the anime great. So let me know your thoughts when it comes to animes being adapted to live action, and do you think they should stop, or should we just keep on going and ruining our experiences? Let me know. On to other news. Recently, there was a Capcom Cup tournament. It was Capcom Cup X, where Street Fighter combatants, they competed for $1 million. And then, they had many different tournaments that led up to this particular event. They had different qualifiers, and they had many different things that happened around the world. So you can qualify. You want to get the best of the best, and then the first place they get $1 million. Second place, I believe, is like $300,000. Third place is, they have different amounts of money that's going back into the community. But just think about that, $1 million for a fighting game, Street Fighter. What? That is so dope. That is so dope. I'm so excited for this, and to see how it's going to continue to succeed over time. But the first place winner was a guy who goes by the name of Uma, and he's from Taiwan, and he won. He used Judy, and a lot of people didn't think that this guy would win. You probably had some of your favorites like Menard D and Punk. I know my personal favorite is Punk, or even Angry Bird. To see some of these people either fall out or get eliminated or not make it to that promised land, it's shocking. A lot of people drowned in pools. A lot of the names that we wanted to see more of, we didn't get to see them compete on that main final last hit top 3. But hey, it was only the first of its kind. Sometimes there's nerves that get involved when you play the game, and there's things that's just going to throw you off, but that just lets you know that you have to stay disciplined. You have to continue to practice, and you have to continue to put forth that effort that's going to help you shine when you're in those situations where your nerves could get the best. It could get the best of you, because a lot of times throughout this bracket, you've seen a lot of drop combos and a lot of things get flubbed. So, but also, thanks to this tournament, you got a lot more eyes on it, and now you got people wanting to train to get better. So having this amount of money in a video game, a fight, especially in the fighting game community, I think is going to bring a lot more eyes. It's going to bring a lot more people together. It'll probably bring other people from different communities into the Street Fighter community and allow people to participate and test their skills when it comes to competing in fighting games. So overall, I think it is a good thing, to invest this amount of time into it if you're able to. And it was good to see some of the success that happened when it comes to this Street Fighter tournament. And salute to Uma. He put in a lot of work. You know, he was doing his thing. He stayed on the winner bracket. He only lost one time, which was in the grand finals. And he took that crown home, got the first place, got the $1 million, got the trophy, got the recognition, and got the shine. I wonder how much taxes they're gonna take out. You know what I mean? They say he got $1 million, but the government gotta get their hand a little. They gotta get their hand in everything. I mean, but it is what it is. But hopefully, more people are going to take up arms and we see more of these events happen in the future. Not with just Capcom games, but also I hope they do it with Tekken. It'll be dope to see them do it with Tekken. But what do you all think about them investing that amount of money into Capcom? Do you think that's a good thing? Do you think it's a bad thing? How do you feel about it? Just let me know. All right. Now, let's get to our anime question of the day. Which Dragon Ball did Goku inherit from his grandpa? Was it the 2-star Dragon Ball, the 4-star Dragon Ball, the 1-star Dragon Ball, or the 7-star Dragon Ball? Let me know in the comment section below if you know what this is, and I will give you the answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drum roll. 4-star. The 4-star Dragon Ball Goku inherited from his grandpa Gohan. And also he named his child Gohan. And Gohan means lunch. But yeah, all right. As we wrap up today's video, can you guess who this anime character is? Can you guess? Look at the silhouette. Look at the hair. Look at the body structure. Can you guess who this character is? I will reveal that character next week in the next episode of this series. But until then, I will see you all next time. Make sure you like this, subscribe, and yeah, man, make sure you tell someone that you love them.